A year ago, I went through something so utterly devastating. It turned my whole world on its head and inside out. I felt as though I would literally die. I wanted off the ride. Now, as I watch the final cloud of confusion evaporate, I know I am ready to share what I have learned so far. I share these experiences with the knowing that there are many, many, many more soldiers out there who don't even know they are fighting in the most important war of their existences. This is a fight for your soul, and it all rides on what you choose to believe, because what you choose to believe becomes fact. Listen closely, because here comes a huge shocker. You have been fighting in this war since you were just a baby. Come on, be real with yourself. You always knew something felt off about this place. Always something off, but nothing to put your finger on. The many indirect, direct, and unwarranted slights from the very people you expect to protect you. Always feeling uncertain, never safe. My goodness, what did I do to deserve this, you ask yourself. Why do your tears seem to bring them joy? Oh, my sweet dear child. You've been taking invisible blows to your body, your emotional and mental body. That's why you're always in pain. With an occasional relief. A relief so kind, so warm, that the next time you land back on that cold concrete you know as normal, it now feels colder, sharper, lonelier. Why does my pain bring you joy? What's wrong with you people? You wish you could ask. And if they could answer, they would say, You are what's wrong with me. Why won't you stay down? Listen, babes. In order for you to grasp the reality of the world all realm you are in, you're going to have to empty yourself of all you think you know and turn your sci-fi dream fantasy / alien abduction thermostat to 100% and a little more if you're able to. It's so unbelievable, yet so obvious. Wow. So, I'm going to go into my childhood. And as I narrate some experiences, I know that you'll see what I mean. If you can take what I've said, compare it to your own experience, I believe you will understand. And with that understanding, we're going to find healing. And that's the most important thing. After healing, you get to choose. To really choose. Choose the life you know. Or let's go on and make something new with what really is there. Sounds so matrixy, hey? So, I was born a preemie, born at 7 months. My mother described me as alien looking, sparse to no hair on my head, or like a balding spot. Like, you know how the center of the head has no hair, in like men with like it has receded hairline. Yeah, that's with very sparse hair and translucent skin, and the size of, I don't know, an iron, like to iron clothes, if that. She also described me as unbearably loud. From the second I was born, I was screaming. Okay, not the second I was born, because my lungs, I did stay in like an incubator for a couple of days, but my lungs were pretty damn strong. A bit of jaundice, that matters, but like when I cried, she said once, like she could hear me cry from outside of the hospital. Like before she entered the premises of the hospital, she said she could hear me crying, and I would cry till I was red in the face, to the point she thought I was going to suffocate, you know? And I always found it so cute. Said I would scream with my mouth so wide, like wide open, that the little dangly thing that's sitting in the back of my throat, yeah, that's just all you would see, and just this red tomato with the dangly thing swinging in the back of the throat. Apart from those descriptions, my mom didn't describe it. I mean, I didn't sound like I was warmly received, you know, even though like I didn't bring myself here, but hey, I was a symbol of the disappointment she felt in herself, because she had such big dreams for her life, having grown up in a household that didn't have or struggled. She had very, very high dreams for herself, and she was heading in that direction until she says she was hoodwinked by my father, but I don't think she was. I think she fell in love, and he was a sweet talker, which, hey, no, that sweet tongue is something else. I think she fell in love, and unfortunately, the person that she fell in love with, that she took a chance on, a person she abandoned herself for, was a liar and a crook and a womanizer. And I was her dunce hat. You get it? I was just that. She can't take it off. She can't put it down. It's a symbol Oh, poor thing. A symbol of her stupidity. What she thought was stupidity. And as a symbol of her disappointment and her delay or her hindrance, just complete stop, as the symbol of that, what else would I expect? Or how else would I expect to be treated? Now saying it, it's like, oh, 1+1. So, I'm going to tell the story as I know it. So, whoever in my beautiful family or not who has anything to, yeah, maybe they just say, no, it didn't happen that way, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I don't care. I will represent it the way I know it so far, because no one has said anything to me. Nobody has ever helped me fill in the gaps or just try to come to my assistance emotionally or just in the way that family is supposed to, man. So here's the story, especially you, my mommy dearest. Yeah, this is it. And even if you had come forward, you had to come forward and tell me another bunch of something to make yourself look good or someone else look bad, or no, this makes sense to me. That's the only thing that makes sense. The only thing that could justify your lack of love for me. At a young age, my mother tried to abandon me at my dad's family side. This is in Soweto, let's say 93, 94, 5. I'm working with the age range I was given. My mom had put the iron dishes, the vascoms, the big bathing iron basins outside under the tree and commenced to, get the water ready, poured in hot, warm, got it the perfect temperature, undressed me, plunked me inside. I'm not sure whether she had started to give me a bath or not, but by the time anybody came outside, she was gone, and I was left sitting in the basin under the tree, alone. She tried to abandon me, and she only failed because her elder sister, my Aunt Daisy, beautiful, beautiful human being, I don't care what anybody says, literally, forced her to take me back and just came to come collect me from my dad's family They went to the police station, they did everything, affidavits, and she was just like, yeah, Meg, nope. And I see how that could have come off to my mom as she forced me, she bullied me, and really, she did. Daisy did bully you into that. And sometimes I sit and I think, man, I wish, what if Daisy had just let my mom be? Just let my mom be. I wouldn't be who I am today, or would I? Who knows? Well, guess we'll never know. But once again, she tried to take that dunce hat, that the evidence of her soft heart. She tried to put it down, and no. They were like, no, wear it, sweetie. Wear it. And she did. She did. Oh, she hated that hat. Anywho, we eventually, yeah, there are a few other messed up stories in between that, but I don't feel the need to share that right now. We have plenty of time. We eventually found ourselves out of Soweto in like Johannesburg to, like we moved along, and my mother met my daddy who raised me eventually, and they got together and had my sister, and I had a family. But there were two layers to this thing. There were two layers, two realities that I lived in. The one where my mother was a doting mother. Everybody was around, and she would say all the right things and encourage me and just put on a show. And I remember how I enjoyed the show. Like it was my mommy. The other side of that was when there was nobody around. When there's nobody around, oh my goodness. Mommy was mommy dearest. Have you watched that movie? It's a movie, I think it's a biography, true story, about Joan Crawford. And the name of the movie is Mommy Dearest. I think it's based on a book that her adopted daughter Christina wrote about her. And if you watch that movie, I recommend it actually. It's so camp, it's so delicious. Like visuals, it's glorious. But I cried the first time I watched it because I was like, oh my God. Is this who my mother was imitating? Did she think that this was it? Anywho, I know kids get spanked. I know kids are corrected. But when a parent is correcting their child, they correct their child whether there are people there or not. They will correct the behavior of the child, not to impress or not for approval. the approval of others, but because it is what has to be done. And my mother never hit me in front of. I figured this out much later in life, like well into my 20s, when my sister, the baby sister, asked me, "Can you tell us anything about mom?" Like, inquisitive little her. Like, you are the firstborn daughter. What can you tell us about mom that we may not know? And my response, in the most, like, yes, respect mommy way, was mommy does not like her to misbehave. And I was like, she will hit you. Wrong answer. My mother blew up. And she was on some, why you lying to my children? How dare you lie to my children? I would never hit you. And here's me looking at her perplexed like,